knew exactly when I met her. She was the one. And I think a big part of it was...
What? Wait a minute, Russell, how you saying that? What was it? Because people don't believe that. What you just talked about was like pretty much a version of love at first sight. How?
It really was. A couple things had happened. One, I had actually told somebody I knew before, I was like, somebody asked me, who do you see yourself with? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, Sierra. They were like, she ain't gonna like you. I said, why? I said, I don't think she's gonna like you. I said, she ain't met me yet.
Okay. Talk about she gonna like me. She don't know me.
That was the first thing.
So
then
crazy.
Fast forward, I'm kind of seeing some people. I'm just chilling, whatever, 10-year window. And so then fast forward, what happens is I go to church one day on a Sunday. Sunday I go to dinner with my pastor. We're sitting there talking. I said, man, I need to write my 5 non-negotiables. He said, 5 non-negotiables. He said, you said negotiables in your sermon. I said, you weren't talking about this, but I believe in marriage. Like I said earlier, marriage is a business deal. It's life. It's partnership. It's this, that, and the other. I said, I need to write my 5 non-negotiables. What I want a woman. Number one is I want a woman of faith, right, who believe in God, this and that. I want a woman who is faithful, not just to me, but to everything she does. When her yes is yes, her no is no. I want a woman who was independent, didn't have to be Sierra, but somebody had their own identity and wasn't just Russell's wife. I wanted somebody that was also someone who was similar to my mom. Yeah, my mom was helping my dad when he was on his deathbed. My dad used to always say, you're always going to be good because you're mama. And then I wanted somebody that would tilt the room. When they walk in the room, that their whole room changes.
Okay, and that's true about her.
Yeah, so those 5 things. So those 5 things I wrote down, prayed over. We prayed over that night. He said, "Why 5?" I said, 5 is the number of grace. I said, marriage and life is about grace.
Yes,
so we wrote 5 of them down. And 3 days later, I meet Steve for the first time. And so we meet each other. Fast forward, like the moment I met her, what was interesting, this feature was about 9 months or so. And it was just a bond right from the beginning. And I told her, I said, no matter if you and I ever end up together, I'm going to make sure I look out for a little man and help whatever way you need. But I knew it was going to be like something real. And so, I think what's amazing, going back to the question though, of like, how do you know? I think life is a journey, right? You meet people along the way, you go through relationships, situations, this and that. And I think it's all a formulation of the imperfect ingredients of what God desires for you. And I think that ultimately we experience life situations, people, this and that. And at some point we realize, okay, well, God, what do you really have for me?